They were like someone reached out of my computer and said, "Stop, go have a different life." Anyway, all right, on to classwork. You guys ready to roll? Okay, let's do this. Here's where we're going. And then we'll get there. Okay, starting back review. I learned something last class in collaboration with a student. Oh man, you have a crappy seat. Like this. Okay, so let's do a quick review of the cube. And so for starting a cube, I like to start with a y. Okay? And we can do a cube upside down or right side up. Okay. Now we have these 3 points. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to go, we're looking for a corner, and a corner. Okay, at 1, 2, and 3. The only way that we can make a mistake right now is if one of these corners is too far away from the y. It's too far out. Okay? Check it out. If I take this and I consider, and I'm going to raise it. If I go like this, and I'm going to bring this in. If down here, if I look at this, if I draw it inwards from what I was initially thinking, try that. Try to draw a cube and just like make those points a little further in. You see those 1, 2, 3 points? Start with a y and then hit out 1, 2, 3, and then form in. See how that point wants to come up and in? Okay, draw bigger. Guys, don't draw minuscule little drawings. Draw big drawings. Draw at least like that, okay? These little drawings will make you up height. Draw like big drawings, okay? Like, go ahead and be bold and get them wrong. You're not being graded on getting it right, okay? You're just being graded on trying. Nice, you got it. There you go. Okay, so here we'll do the same thing now. We'll be like 1, 2, 3. We need a point here, we need a point here, and we need a point here. I'm going to say, look at this is going to want to come in. This is in far enough. This is going to want to come in. I'm erring on the side of inward. I'm erring on the side of inward. Okay. Now, the thing that's going to happen is, so if we were doing this, like let's say, we're doing archery practice, okay, and the thing that we're all doing is we're all missing the target over on this side, okay? So we've just like, we've moved ourselves, okay? We've moved ourselves so far over this way, right? And now what's happening is we're hitting here. It's still not a bullseye. You're going to have to correct back the other way a touch. Like you see how this is kind of exaggerated, and you see how this is kind of exaggerated? They're not wrong. They're a tiny bit hyperbolic. They're a tiny bit exaggerated, right? It's like cartoony. Or it would be as if I was using a wide angle lens, which we'll talk about later. That's like using a wide angle lens. So you don't need to be that exaggerated in your perspective, but at least it's not wrong. Okay, so wrong looks like this. I've got the Y. Okay, and now wrong, I go 1, 2, 3, and I go like this. See that guy? No go. We hate that. Okay? See how that's wrong? Everything is splayed. Everything is too big. Okay, but we don't want to make getting it right make us unhappy. We want a couple processes, right? So you see how that wants to come up and that wants to come up, right? So that's going to help a lot. So try a couple of these, guys. Try to get your cubes in order. Let's like have our cubes be beautiful. I swear to you guys, this is the basis of the drawing, okay? You will not regret getting your cubes in order. Okay, after the cube, we move on to the cylinder. Okay? The cylinder has a key. Okay? The key to the cylinder is the minor axis. So the key to the cylinder is this center line. Okay? And off of that center line, which is the minor axis, the whole thing hangs off of it. So the top of the cylinder, I want to make this kind of space, and all I have to do is I loop out to the right, and then I reflect it, I mirror it to the left, okay? Now, using this distance and this distance, okay, I want to take those distances and I want to drop them all the way down to the floor, okay? So I'm taking this distance and I'm going to come out here. I'm like, it's about that far out. It's about that far out. It's about that far out, okay? Now here's how I can make a mistake on the bottom. I can be too wide. I really can't make a mistake by being too skinny. I get exaggerated, but I'm not wrong. Okay, it would be cartoony and wide angle lens, but I'm not wrong. So to be safe, I'm gonna make those a little bit smaller. Okay. Now, here's a rule. When I have the horizon line here, okay, the horizon line is my eye level. When I have a horizon line, as a shape comes forward, as the shape comes this way, and as it goes this way, the surface gets bigger, okay? So like here, so say I have here, what's going on is this. My horizon line is my eye level. Okay, right here is my horizon line. Now, as I'm looking at this, right, when I'm looking at this rectangle and it's right here, notice how tiny, like this surface here, it's just like a straight line. But as I go like this, and now I'm looking at it, see how it's like, I would see more of it. And then here, it's like I would see more of it still, and here more of it still. As I go away from this line, I see more. So here is a cylinder, a circle, a flat. If I took a dime and I put it on the horizon line, it would look like this. As I come below the horizon line, it looks like that. As I come lower, it looks like that. As I come lower, it looks like that. And then like that. And then like that. And then like that. You see what's happening? That guy's dropping down. Okay, the same thing would happen as it went up. It would be start out like this, and then it would go like that, and then it would go like that, and then it would go like that, right? So you see how this starts to give the effect of space? See how what I'm up to here starts to feel like looking up and looking down at something? So if this guy here is close to the horizon line, this one, which is down here, you see this here? See that space? What do we call that space? What is that called on a circle? What is that called on a circle, Molly? Is it your name, Molly? What is that called on a circle? Do you remember the word perimeter? What is a perimeter? It's going around the edge, right? What is a radius? Halfway across, right? What is all the way across? Have you ever heard of things that are diametrically opposed? You ever heard of like two bastards in a fight and they're diametrically opposed? They're on either side of the circle. They're as far apart as they can be. Okay? They're diametrically opposed. This is called the diameter. The diameter gets longer. You see the diameter gets longer as we move away from the horizon line. Okay? So here the diameter gets wider as we move away from, but still I do the loop and the reflection, and now I connect these guys, and I've got a cylinder in perspective. So let's do a couple of those. And we can do them in any direction we want. This one's, the diameter has to be bigger. Okay. Now, just because it happens so frequently, here's a thing to connect. We can relate. If you think of a car, okay, could you think of a car, if you had to build a car out of wooden blocks, if I gave you a single block and like 2 dowels, could you guys make something that kind of felt like a car? So say you just have like a block and 2 dowels. Could you put that together on your table so that it like felt like a car? You'd be like, that's kind of like a car, okay? Here, so we've got a block like this. We're getting all Pinewood Derby on us. Okay, so we've got a little block. See how I could pull that one up? You guys all see that? How this guy needs to just come up? Okay. Now check it out. Let's say I go like this. Which of these makes more sense? A or B? And why? Okay, why? Right. Absolutely. It actually looks like wheels, right? So there's a cool trick in this for us. What's going on is notice this. You see this line right here? Now, here's my car shape. If I'm going to call this line MA, okay? Ma. That line is going to be Ma. Okay. Can you see what I have to line Ma up with? Can you see what I have to line that up with? Check it out. My car is going to be driving this way. Okay. Here is line A. Here's line B. Here's line C. Which of those do I have to line Ma up with? Ma stands for major axis. Okay, that's the minor axis. It stands for minor axis. Which line, which A, B, or C? Take a guess, which one? B, correct. Yeah, totally correct. Does that make sense to everybody? That's the way the axles on a car go, right? Everything else is crazy. The axles on the car have to be parallel, perpendicular to the direction of the car, parallel to the sides of the car, right? So that's a rule. Look at, there's a stupid rule. Write this down, okay? The minor axis, AXIS, is perpendicular to the surface of the ellipse. Okay, that's a stupid way of saying it goes like this. Okay? Keep that in your mind. It's very, very useful. It's very useful. So if I have to get an ellipse on this surface, my minor axis is B. Now, if I have to get an ellipse on this surface, what is my minor axis? Say it's a tank and it's got a top that lifts off, right? By the way, what is an ellipse? What's an ellipse? Okay, who knows, honestly? Good, glad we're talking about it. What is it? It is kind of like a flat circle. Very well said. Like a more clunky way of saying that is it's a circle in perspective. Okay, so you got a circle, here's a circle, and then you put it in perspective. Like you put it like that. Take a circle and you put it in perspective, it becomes an ellipse. Okay? An ellipse is just a circle in perspective. You gotta know how to like draw a circle in perspective. Or you don't have to, but man, it can do some cool stuff. Okay, so we use, here's the minor axis for an ellipse for a circle that goes on the top of this thing. Okay, so now I can have a circle on the top of there that's pretty convincing. And the way that I do it is I take the minor axis, here's the minor axis, and I boom, and I reflect it. Okay, it's like the little vitamin rule. It's like it makes a vitamin, it's symmetrical on either side of the minor axis. So we're like, so now let's say that I've got to get a circle. Let's say I've got to draw the headlights on surface B. Where's my minor axis? Who's going to take a stab at this? Where's my minor axis? Where's my minor axis? For the headlights. It's either A, B, or C. Because B gives me these. Here's B, there's B, right? B gives me these. What gives me these? A. So here's A. Here's A. Okay. So it goes, we take the minor axis. Here's the minor axis. We know what the minor axis is? You got what it is, Julia, what the minor axis is? Okay, these words are so clunky. And if you can think of a better way to say it, but the minor axis is perpendicular. Do we all know what perpendicular is? Perpendicular means it hits like this. Okay, parallel is this, train tracks. Perpendicular is like when the road tees. Like, bam, that's perpendicular. Perpendicular, parallel. So the minor axis is perpendicular to the surface of the ellipse. Okay, so and that's how we can relate a cylinder to a cube. Okay, next shape. Let's draw a cone. And to draw a cone, you start out with a minor axis again, and boom, and reflect it, and connect it. Okay? Okay. I'm going to draw one upside down and reflect it and connect it, and boom. So then we'll do, you can kind of be like this. You can kind of be like, it's a little bit of, it could be like a P, okay? And then a backwards P, and then boom, and then boom. Or you could go like this, and it could be like a B, like a cool B, and then it could be a backwards B, which is a D, right? And then we could connect it. Does that make it kind of accessible? Does that feel pretty accessible? Now check it out. If I wanted to, I could go back and I could be like, what if I wanted to take this guy and I wanted to put a cone on the top of it? Say I wanted to put a cone on the top of this guy. Look at my minor axis for this comes this way, right? Here's my minor axis is C, and I could connect to the sides. And look at that, I've got a cone sitting right on top of that cube. Like flush, symmetrical. Okay. Pyramid. Pyramid's got some issues for me. Here's a pyramid. I start out with a square in perspective. Now I need to find the center of it. I find the center of shapes by passing a line through from corner to corner. I'm going to shoot a line perpendicular to this corner to corner. I want to shoot a line like that, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay? Pyramid. I'm going to draw a pyramid upside down. Oh, sorry. Find the center by connecting corners. 1, 2. Okay. Perpendicular to this line. 1, 2, 3. Connect it. I could easily take and mount another one of those on here. Watch, check this out. I want to go like this and like this and like this. Okay. Find the center. Find the center. Okay. Perpendicular. This perpendicular is, it's got to go this way. Perpendicular. Something's wrong here. I don't know exactly what's wrong. So I have to say, nobody taught me how to do this stuff. Like, they don't teach it. But I thought it was really important in learning how to draw. So I basically just like use my eye and I start to look for rules, and like working with you guys, I end up finding rules. Like you guys will be like, but this isn't working. And I'll be like, no, it's not. How do I make it work? And so I always start to think about it. And over years, some rules have come about. But do you guys feel how that feels wrong? Something feels wrong, and I can't figure out what's wrong there. Something's wrong. So I can take you pretty far with how to draw a pyramid, but I need an answer to how to get this to feel right. It's like, where is perpendicular is I'm not going to get all into it, but if anybody has any ideas there, I'm looking for an answer. That's right, yeah. So what would I be perpendicular to? The thing is, I'm saying that to draw a pyramid, you go like this. Okay, now you connect this. And so long as I'm sitting on the floor, if I'm perpendicular with the elevation, it works, right? But if I take this, and let's say I wanted to duplicate this right here, only under this edge, I'm going to jack that edge up a little bit. Let's say I did that. So if I go like this now, okay, see how I just like jacked this edge up? It was like sitting on the ground, but I jacked that edge up. Now, if I'm perpendicular to this line, it works though, right? Does that work? Like we've got the tilt, that the top turned correctly. So, but why didn't that work here? Huh? Maybe the base of it is not perpendicular to the base? Maybe that's where I messed up. All right. If anybody can solve it, solve it. But like, I'm not going to give it any more class time, but that's an issue that I'm struggling with. So, okay. So we've got spheres ahead of us. The sphere goes like this. We have to get a circle. The best way I know to draw a circle is to start with it and to look for these distances, okay? And then to do a quarter circle and you can move your paper. I'm in a cool spot where I can move my body. My circles tend to be squashed and short, so it's like for me, lengthening those will always help. That's an ugly job. Okay, there we are. Whoa, potato. That's getting better. Okay, now the next two lines essentially locate the circle for us. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I use this line as a minor axis, and I do the P, and then I mirror it. Okay, that makes it so that I'm cross contour. Okay, now I use this line as a minor axis, and I lighten one side, and that creates a sense of dimension. And now I go like this, and then like this, okay? And then I lighten one side. And this is cool. Like if I can get a circle, say I take a circle like this. I know my mistake is to always make these too short, so I'm trying to make them too long. Okay, so say I start out with a circle and then minor axis for top to bottom like this. Minor axis side to side like this. Now, watch this. Okay, you see this from here to there? I can use that as a minor axis. And what I've done is, in perspective, I've related a sphere to a cylinder. So if you were like, I don't know, if you had to draw like a freezy or something like that. Okay, so we've got a cube, a sphere, a cylinder, a cone, a pyramid. Those are the five platonic solids. Okay, those are the core lessons in drawing. There's this great draftsman. His name is Will Weston, and you should look up him on Instagram, and you should look up his drawing lessons on YouTube. He added a sixth, and it's the ribbon. Okay, and the ribbon. Here's the fastest and easiest way to draw a ribbon is to draw an S. Okay. And then I'm going to just copy that S below it. And then I'm going to connect. And I'm going to connect. And every place I've got a cross, see there I've got a cross, I'm going to connect. And I'm going to connect. Okay, and then I've got a little bit of erasing to do. Here's a little bit of erasing, and here's a little bit of erasing. Okay. So now we can take that ribbon and we can turn it too. We can be like, okay, here is an S, and then here is an S, okay? And I connect the end, and I connect, and I connect, and I connect. I can make this ribbon go. It would be cooler to do this. And I can take the ribbon and I can really play with it. I can just take a line that swirls around, and I can pick a spot to start from and just copy that line. And I'm really literally just like focusing on that line and I'm copying it. See, I'm crossing. I'm trying to maintain my same distance away. I got to cross. Maintain my distance. I got to cross and maintain my distance. And I got to come down. Okay. And then I've got some stuff to connect. 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 Okay, so you can like ribbon all over the place. Okay, that's the most important part of the lesson. Okay, those are, now I'm going to take us to, can you pull your 1, 2, 3 in? So I'm going to take us now further, just for fun. Okay, if you don't have to pay attention to where I go to now. Okay, but if you're like got what I'm saying, you're like, okay, fine, cool, I got this lesson. Then you want some more, I'm about to do some more. What I need you to do is like, for the for like your homework, I need you to practice, okay? This is my hope is you practice this stuff, okay? My hope is that you get really, really good at this stuff. It pays off no matter what kind of drawing you want to do. Okay, this stuff is always going to be there. It's like you'll either get it now or it will forever be in your way. Whether you want to draw photorealism, like copying photograph, perfect realism, you want to draw cartoon, you want to draw illustration, even if you go into abstraction, great principles of abstraction are hung together on principles. Okay, this is very, very basic graphic principle right here. Okay. So, but now we're going to take what we're going to do is we're going to build a construction. Okay, and I'm going to start with a cube. I'm going to add a cylinder to the cube. Okay. I want to take the cube and I want to throw a cylinder through it right here. I got a bad thing going on, guys. Okay. Gonna do a P. A reflection. It's got to be about there. It's got to be about there. Okay, now let's say that one of these guys is you see how it's going to hit this surface right here? So what I need is I need an ellipse that will relate to that surface. Now, if I need an ellipse that will relate to that surface, you guys started to get some ideas? Think of it as a car on its side. Here's the minor axis for that, okay? It so happens that the minor axis for that is sitting right here in front of me too. It's got to come across right about there, right about here, and here's the minor axis. It's going to be about like that. It's going to go like this. I'll catch you later. Al. Good to see you. Okay, see how nice that fits? Let's throw another one on. I want to do it this time. I want to do it this way. Okay. So this is going in this really weird way, but still the minor axes that I need, I need one that relates me to this surface and one that relates me to that surface. So for this surface, I use this line and this line, okay? So it's a line in perspective this way, okay? So it's going to be like a line that that goes with this line, and it goes through here. So it's going to have to go like that. That's going to be my minor axis. And it's got to be like that. For this side here, it comes off of this line and this line. Okay? And it's got to relate to this surface, and it's got to go through this thing. It's got to be in perspective with this line and that line. Here's the line, a line in between those that's in perspective with those. Okay, right here, you see how this is in perspective? These three lines are working together. And now it's got to coordinate with this surface here, right here. So I want to go like this. I want to come through to there. Let's take a simple box and put it on here. Let's just do something easy. We're just going to take a simple box. Here's a Y. Okay, so there's a box on the box, and I'm going to cut it in. So I want to take this surface, I'm going to go over and down, and the box is really easy. I'm going to put a cone here. Here's a minor axis for a cone. It's just this ellipse moved upwards here and then downwards. Good struggle with it. Just struggle with it. Yeah, just continue to struggle with it. Okay, these are good. These are really good. Don't forget to bring all these 1, 2, 3. Okay, at least put it on the weeds. Is that 1, 2, 3? Always on 1, 2, 3. work with you guys again. Let this not be parallel to the picture. Like that is. Okay, let's see. I want to add a sphere. So I want to add a sphere right here. So it's going to interact with this surface. So this is going to be the minor axis. And I'm going to add a pyramid right here. I think I figured out the pyramid. With the pyramid, here's the perpendicular. With the pyramid, wherever the base, you have to pick a part of the base and say, I'm going to be perpendicular to the base. Maybe not. Nope. Haven't figured it out, guys. And then the last thing is a ribbon. And I'm just like putting a line. And then I want to take the line and just duplicate it. And it's really easy to make it pass through stuff, and it's cool. Okay. Now that's it.